hype is over. Usually being a Kings fan, when it's time for the offseason and the draft, we're just excited about the new rookie coming to town because maybe they'll lead us to the NBA playoffs. But this year things are different because the Kings are actually a playoff team now. And now that we are the playoff team, there's a lot of bigger things that we are looking forward to, such as free agency. As a Kings fan, you never really had any big free agents coming to Sacramento or really checking in to see how Sacramento is doing or what it's like here. But this year things are different. You had players like Kyle Kuzma, like Khris Middleton, who are maybe actually talking about going to Sacramento, or just rumors in general saying that they are interested or the Kings are interested in getting these players. But instead of maybe signing one of these players, one of these great all-star caliber and already all-star players, we go out and re-sign Harrison Barnes to a $54 million 3-year deal. Now, before I continue, I don't want this to sound like I'm just hating on Harrison Barnes or I don't think he should be on the team. I love Harrison Barnes. I think what he does for this team is very important and understated. The veteran leadership that he has for not only the rookies on the team, but just the young players in general, because this is a young Sacramento Kings team, is huge. And I think a lot of teams wish that they had someone like Harrison Barnes who could really be a leader for them. I know if you're not like a Kings fan, you don't really know what he does. It sounds a little bit crazy saying that Harrison Barnes is like that valuable, but he does really help out this team. But with that being said, is he worth $54 million on a 3-year deal? Fuck no. Fuck no, he's not worth that shit. Earlier in the NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings held the 24th pick, where they could have gotten a lot of young talent who could come in and maybe help the team, although they probably wouldn't get much playing time because the Kings are now a playoff contending team. They want something bigger than to develop young talent, so they decided to trade off the 24th pick and trade off Rashawn Holmes, who had a very big contract, to open up cap room, which is why we thought we were going to get a player like Kyle Kuzma, like Khris Middleton. But using that money to re-sign Harrison Barnes on a $54 million contract just seems so interesting to me. And after making this move, the Kings are now left with $7 million basically in cap room, a mid-level exception option, and also the option to re-sign Sabonis on, I think, $120 million on like a 4-year deal or something like that. The point is they'd be able to re-sign Domantas Sabonis, but there has to be a reason as to why Monte McNair, the Sacramento Kings GM, decided to make this move, and it must have been because Kyle Kuzma or Khris Middleton either didn't want to come to Sacramento, or overall the Kings just didn't have enough to offer for them. And I think it's also really worth saying that I fully trust Monte McNair at this point. He's made so many decisions and moves for this team that a lot of people found skeptical, including myself at the very beginning, but turned out to be really good moves and really helped change the direction of this franchise and turn this franchise into a playoff franchise. I think I said franchise like 3 times there. But I'm also not going to sit here and say that I maybe disagree with some moves that he makes, because I really think that Kyle Kuzma would have been great for this team. I really wanted Kyle Kuzma. Now, maybe I got too excited making kind of like a make-believe situation in my head where I saw Kyle Kuzma and Fox and Malik and Sabonis all playing together. And if you really think about it realistically, there's probably better offers that Kuzma had on the table. Like, I know the Houston Rockets had a lot of interest in him, and the Rockets, who also have a lot of cap space, maybe they have better offers. Maybe they are a team that has a better chance at getting someone like Kyle Kuzma. So the Kings just said, you know what, we're not going to bother. We're going to go ahead and lock up our vet for a big contract. So it is sad to think that Kyle Kuzma is just kind of like a what it could have been type situation. But no matter what happens, even though Kyle Kuzma is not a king, he is still one of the best dressed in the NBA, so I'll give him that. Now, Khris Middleton was a player who was on the Sacramento Kings radar, and I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit scared that we would actually end up getting Khris Middleton, although he would be a huge upgrade over Harrison Barnes. I was just a little bit skeptical about one thing, and that's age. Even though Khris Middleton is only 30, he just came off a season where he missed a lot of games, and I feel like we've really seen all we can see from Khris Middleton. I don't think we see any more growing in his game. I don't think we see him having another year where like his productivity spikes up or something like that, or we see a really crazy year from him, which is another reason why I think I would have rather had Kyle Kuzma over Khris Middleton, because I feel like we're just now starting to see the potential Kyle Kuzma has. Like, I feel like this next upcoming year is going to be a huge year for Kuzma no matter where he goes. But obviously with Khris Middleton, you have the championship caliber player. I know Kyle Kuzma is also a champion, but Khris Middleton had a way bigger role in the championship, so I feel like that gives him a little bit more of that credit. So although the Kings didn't get Khris Middleton, I feel like that was a move that was really like not going to happen. It was kind of something that I think was just kind of thrown out there, and they're like, hey, maybe this might happen, maybe it won't. It's like, that's okay with me. At the end of the day, it's not like this is the exact roster we'll be seeing going into the NBA season. We still have free agency that starts tomorrow or today when you watch this, and there's obviously plenty of time for trades to come through. There's obviously been a lot of talks about the Kings maybe getting OG Anunoby, although I don't think that'll happen. Who knows? And I think a lot of Kings fans as well forget that they were in a great situation last year. Like, the Kings ending as the 3rd seed in the West, did a lot of people forget about that? Because I feel like it's a little bit insane how some people are reacting to this. I genuinely think that even if the Kings were to run it back with this exact roster right now, they would still have a successful year and will probably exceed what they did last year. So Kings fans, don't be too down to see that maybe we didn't get some big star in the free agency world, because there's still time for not only trades to get players who could really help build this team, but also we have a good team. We're finally in a situation where we don't need someone like a huge free agent to come over, because we can really do this again and see how it goes and really build off of what we have currently. Yeah, at the end of the day as well, you have to realize that we didn't really lose much. The only thing we really lost was a 24th pick and a third string center to re-sign someone who is very crucial to the team. Like, I feel like that's honestly a fair trade. With that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe. Click the video up on the screen if you did enjoy. I'm sorry if my videos have been a little bit inconsistent recently. I've not only been dealing with moving out of my house, but also I have 2 big trips that are happening very soon. I'm actually leaving for the airport in about like 4 hours, so that's kind of a pain in the ass. But I'll see you guys all next video, whenever that may be. Later.